The kind of place your grandfather would spend his mornings in the 1950s.
Like most people this year, my commute to work has been 10 bleary-eyed chicken steps from my bed to my desk. Zero traffic, an extra 3 hours in bed, zero work-life separation. But unlike most of us, this has been my commute to work for the last 8 years. Since the early 20-teens, I have been a professional voiceover artist on FIVERR. They've been kind enough to sponsor this video, and it gives me a chance to show you how I made my first $500 on the platform as a teenager. We're going to do a day in the life so you can see what a day on FIVERR looks like, and I'm going to give you my top tips for succeeding in the gig economy. Although it is a sponsored video, I am going to give you my real pros and cons, having worked with the site every day for the best part of a decade. And I will give you the one key self-made improvement that tripled my income about 3 years ago. I do a great impression of a hot dog. Setting up a FIVERR account is really easy. It takes about 30 minutes. All you need is a picture, description, sample of your work, and a thumbnail for your gig. Though I would recommend a high quality video as well. I set up my FIVERR account while I was still at university as a teenager, and I started earning money straight away. I think it took me to go from 0 gigs to $500. It took me about 2 months. I remember buying my first $800 DSLR with the money that I'd made after about 4 months. One of my favorite memories of using FIVERR was when I went on a holiday to Slovenia a few years ago. I took my laptop and my microphone. I spent 2 hours working on the holiday, and when I had come back, I had not only paid for the holiday, but I was also in profit. Those of you who are familiar with this channel will know that the product I sell on FIVERR is bespoke weasel photography. No, it's voice impressions. That's my product. Weasel photography is just more of a hobby at the moment. But with FIVERR, who knows? The best thing about FIVERR is it has its own engaged client base. So the clients come to you, you don't spend all your time pitching and chasing leads. Its algorithm rates your gigs depending on how people interact with it. Not too dissimilar to YouTube. On your profile, you can track how well your gigs are doing via these stats. This allows you to make iterative tweaks to your gigs and see what is and isn't working. As you gain credibility, when you build up orders and positive reviews, you can move up through the ranks from a level 1 seller to a level 2 seller to a top rated seller. I was once a top rated seller, but I got moved back to level 2. I think because my delivery times are too long. But that works for me because when I am available, I can offer those quicker delivery times at a higher price. It also allows me to be more efficient with my orders and fulfill them in bulk blocks. I've been on FIVERR since, well, everything was a FIVERR. Back then, the only way you could scale your price was by doing a multiple of your basic gig for $5. Now, my average gig price is far higher. As a trainee teacher in 2015, I was earning £17,000 a year. So £10,000 in additional income went a long way. A year later, I was able to go part-time as a maths tutor while maintaining my standard of living. And a year on from that, I was able to go full-time on FIVERR while maintaining the exact same standard of living. All while only working 12 to 15 hours a week on my FIVERR orders. This freed me up to start learning the art of stand-up comedy and focus on YouTube, and it's taken me to where I am at the moment. Over the years, FIVERR has been crucial in freeing up time for me to work on creative projects. So let's have a look at a day in my life on FIVERR. Throughout the week, I'll be responding to inquiries on the app, and a certain percentage of those will make an order. Over the last 3 days, I've been accruing these orders, and today I'm going to be fulfilling them.
Sitting snug in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, the village coffee shop is a classic greasy spoon diner with a heart of gold. Freshly brewed coffee, delectable breakfast. The kind of place your grandfather would spend his mornings in the 1950s.
So that was $100 for 3 minutes and 10 years mastering the impression.
Mr. Jared Brown, as one of my finest pupils, I'm wishing you nothing but success. Happy birthday, Now turn to page 300.
Sometimes revisions are needed a day or so after, but if not, we both sign the gig off, leave each other a rating, and then the funds go into clearing. Because FIVERR holds the funds in escrow, both buyer and seller are protected from being scammed. Something that I was very grateful for when I was actually fished out of my account in 2013 on Christmas Day. The FIVERR support worked very quickly to secure my account. You never have to chase payments, which if anyone's done any freelancing, you know can be a huge time and energy sapper.
Dr. Grande, I have a gig on FIVERR because I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. Since the dawn of time, man has long been searching for the meaning of life. Now, I want to see everyone in here clapping.
I was headed to Newcastle University, to a place where I had it on good authority Amber had just scored a first-class honours degree.
By the polar bear's impressively large frame, this beast of an animal covers ground quicker than most.
As a British person, I'm not really fond of tipping culture. Ooh. Once the order is complete, it takes 14 days to clear, then you can instantly withdraw it to PayPal or your bank account. Now we get to the good bit, spending the money. One thing you might not consider, but it is actually quite lonely being a freelancer. FIVERR has its own community. There is quite a community feel to the website. Now at this point, you're probably thinking, well, of course you made $500 on FIVERR. You have a passable to semi-good Morgan Freeman impression, but it wasn't back then. No matter what field you want to make a gig in, I'm going to give you in just the next couple of minutes my top tips for rising above the crowd and being a success on FIVERR. Initially, you are competing from a position of difficulty against people who have polished profiles and loads of historical orders and reviews. You either need to be better than the competition, market yourself better, or do something different. The best way to start is to carve out your own niche. Start by writing out a list of what you're good at, and of those things that you're good at, what people might be looking for. You're looking to operate in that sweet spot of not too niche that people aren't looking for it, but not too general that the market is already saturated and dominated by other sellers. When you become more established and, if you can, corner a niche, that's when you're going to start seeing some real success. In the beginning, your focus should be on building credibility over making money. You'll probably have to offer more work than your competitors at the start. When I first started, I offered 200 words for just $5. Now, backed by over 1,000 5-star reviews, I'm able to raise my lowest price to well above that. The place that you can really outcompete as a new seller is on customer care. Start building a bank of 5-star reviews by being attentive, responsive, and just going above and beyond. Once you have 10 or so 5-star reviews and can demonstrate good samples of work, you've got your foot in the door. You'll find that people will start to take a punt on you over more established sellers. This is the number one biggest takeaway from my time working on FIVERR. It occurs in the mid-game of your FIVERR career. In 2017, my friend looked at my FIVERR profile and, well, he was shocked at how I was portraying myself. I revamped my profile, my videos, all my thumbnails. Also, and this is key, I raised my prices in keeping with those achievements. Once you are semi-established, underpricing yourself gives you a twofold disadvantage. Firstly, obviously, you'll be making less money per order. But secondly, people won't take you as seriously as they should if your prices are too low. I also added the newly released FIVERR packages. I'm just presenting my services in a clear bundle. It made it a lot clearer to clients what they should expect for their purchase. This immediately increased my income from $800 a month to $3,000 to $5,000 per month. So keep your profile up to date. Don't leave it to clients to work out why you're good. Tell them why you're good. Use everything in your control to show that you mean business, and invest your earnings back into equipment. Not only will that allow you to deliver a better product, you'll also come across more professional in your presentation. This is critical in the beginning, but still important as you go on. FIVERR aims to give its customers the best customer care possible. It's a key metric in how they rank you. So keeping your responses helpful and timely directly affects the amount of people that will see your gigs and therefore the amount of orders that you will get. What I would do to keep your customer care quality high is create a series of standard responses. Later on, these responses can be tailored to the customer's actual question. Download the FIVERR app to respond to messages as quickly as possible and keep your response time low, which in turn keeps your ranking high. The one thing I think that FIVERR could really improve on is there's no feeling of a weekend while you're working on FIVERR. They do have 5 weeks of built-in holiday where you could say, I'm not going to respond to messages for 5 weeks during the year. What I would like to see is them build in a weekend where, say, a nominated day, like Saturday, I could say, I'm not going to respond to any messages and this doesn't affect my ranking at all. Having been on the platform for 10 years, that's my only real area that I think could be improved. In whatever niche you're in, look at the market leader in that niche. Write down some observations like how they price themselves, how do they present themselves, whether it be videos, thumbnails, titles, and descriptions. Then look objectively at your own profile. Put yourself in your client's shoes. If you were a client, what would catch your eye? Then think, without wholesale copying them, how can you implement the good aspects of their profile into yours? Success on FIVERR, I think, can be boiled down to product, presentation, and personability. If you have a product that people want, don't undersell it, and have good customer service, I think you're going to do well every time. Number 7, I'm not going to talk about in depth, but it's my 3-step process from going from hobbyist to full-time to financial independence, using websites like FIVERR. I am going to do a full video on it, but the general gist is accruing an emergency buffer, because that allows you to go full-time. Once you go full-time, exploring your creativity with the time that you have earned yourself. Finally, as you become more stable, using your active FIVERR income to invest in yourself and as seed money for bigger passive income projects. So there you have it. I'm really grateful to FIVERR for helping me along this journey. I hope this has been useful, and stay away from bang average Morgan Freeman impressions, they're mine. But please do drop some miscellaneous engagement for the algorithm, a like or a comment, and I will see you soon.